Hello friends, how you all doing? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, host Jan. I hope you're all doing well, friends. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Today, we're talking about young Mason Mount. That's right, Chelsea's player of the season last campaign, academy graduate, first name on the team sheet for Chelsea and his national team, England. 2 successful loans away, one abroad to Vitesse, one in the English second division and the championship. A sensational feel-good story. It should be, at least. Mason Mount, apparently, going to be given a new contract. Deservedly so, I'd say. Considering I don't think he's on much money and how important he is for the team. And of course, he's got a banner that goes around Stamford Bridge. A lovely, lovely big banner. Some people still don't like Mason Mount. Weird, isn't it? We're going to get into it today. And we are going to get into it. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to reference this article from goal.com to talk about where this... no, sorry, not goal. Excuse me. Whoopsie. 90 min. Excuse me. To have a look at what's happening there. We're going to talk about his banner. We're actually going to look at Mason Mount's stats. Oh, for you stats nerds out there. What's he actually doing on the football pitch? We're going to figure that all out together, you and I, dear friend. Consider dropping a like to show some sweet love and support to this channel, Football Therapy, and you're, of course, most welcome to subscribe to this channel, friend. You really are. And I've got over 15,000 followers on Instagram. Wow, all those people looking at my face. You could be one of them at Football Yannick on the gram. Alright, guys. Here we go. Let's have a look. Graham Bailey has written this article for 90 min. That's the website about Mason Mount's new deal, or in talks, as you can see, 90 min. So we'll go have a look at this. You know what, before we read this, look at this. Here's the banner. Mason Mount, the boy who had a dream, going over the shed. Beautiful. Beautiful banner, him with the Champions League trophy, big smile on his face. Lovely, lovely. Obviously a very proud moment for him and his father, Tony. Mason was being rested in this game, so he got to sit in the stands and looked at it and filmed it. It must have been a lovely moment for him to see that made by the fans. The money was put together by the fans to have that. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but I wanted to show it to you. So let's see. I think a lot of people would accept Mason Mount getting a new deal. So let's have a look at the story. Chelsea are ready to reward midfielder star Mason Mount with a lucrative new contract, 90 min understands. The Blues recognise the progress Mount has made in the last couple of years. Hot dog he has. Going from a highly rated young talent on the fringes of the squad, having spent time on loan in the Championship, to a mainstay in Chelsea and England's midfield. Mount, who joined Chelsea aged 6. Just aged 6. He's been at Chelsea for a long time. Signed his last deal more than 2 years ago when, that's when he was first brought into the side, really. And since then, he's performed brilliantly under Frank Lampard and Thomas Tuchel. Indeed, Mount's previous deal, which still has 3 years left to run, was signed before he had played a Premier League game for the club. So obviously he'd played under Lampard. Lampard valued him. He said, "Look, guys, at Chelsea, this guy can perform in the Premier League. Let's give him a contract." Chelsea's leadership are now already in talks with Mount and his representatives, which now includes his father, who's set to take on a more active role in his son's off-field situation going forward. It is believed Chelsea will double his wages, taking him to around 150k a week, while the deal could also extend another couple of years. Although a formal offer is yet to be made, it's not perceived from either side that there will be any problems getting the deal finalised before the end of the year. The Blues chief, Thomas Tuchel, has never hidden his fondness for the England man. Quote, "He's incredibly talented, and even more importantly, he has the personality at a very young age to keep his feet on the ground, to arrive every day with a smile on his face," Tuchel told Sky Sports earlier this year. Mason is simply happy to be out there on the pitch playing football. It doesn't make the difference if he's playing short-sided games or against 4v4, or if he plays out there in the boxes. Okay. It's what he would do if he was not a professional player. He would be in the park, he would be doing the same stuff, and I have a feeling he's very aware of how he arrived at this point in his career. It makes him very self-confident, it makes him appear very humble and very hungry to learn, and these are the big circumstances to have a big career. He is crucial for our game. He's an absolute, listen to this, guys, from Thomas Tuchel. He is crucial for our game. He is absolutely a key player and deserves all the support that we give him. Right, so... Okay, so what do we know? Chelsea are giving Mason Mount... He's been on relatively low wages for an absolutely crucial player for Chelsea. For the amount of minutes he starts and plays, yes, and as a midfielder, you know, he should absolutely be on probably around what he is, considering Champions of Europe, Chelsea Football Club, a vital role. Absolutely 150k. You know, Rudiger, a bit more senior, is about to get 200k. I think N'Golo Kante is closer to 300. I mean, these are senior players, and Mount's not a senior player. Well, he's not like a seasoned player, is the word I'm looking for. Excuse me, but... So, it's fine. The money's fine. But listen to how Thomas Tuchel was talking about him there. He is a crucial player to us. He's saying his feet's on the ground. Everything that Frank Lampard said. This is the reason, like, the way he talks. This is the reason why he got the banner. Now, some fans aren't happy that Mason Mount's got a banner. I don't think this is so much from looking at it. It's basically a lot of Twitter accounts, essentially. Or some Twitter accounts, I should say. I think they're probably not match-going fans. I think they're probably... Because there is a sort of, you know, this idea that there's a connectivity to perhaps Chelsea-bred players with, I don't know, more English fans? I don't know if that's true, but then again, I know loads of, like, international fans from, like, Africa and India and America, of course, who love the fact how Cobham's a really, really good academy, and they feel that connection with the players. But you know, none more than Mason Mount, because he's like a leader. He represents the way he talks about Chelsea, and the way he talks about football, and represents himself as well as the club. He's so like ahead of his time. He absolutely deserves this at every level. Remember, he's not just kicked his heels. He's gone out as a teenager to play in Holland. He did that. He took that jump by himself. He went down to the Championship when he was still a little bit scrawnier and, you know, got hit about by big area-ass defenders. He's filled out a little bit. He's learned tactically. Every coach will tell you he's a manager's dream because he retains and absorbs tactical information. Just listen to those quotes about how Thomas Tuchel spoke about him. Gareth Southgate speaks about him the same way. Of course, Lampard spoke about him in the same way. You put all that together with his mentality, and he absolutely deserves this. It does blow my mind a little bit, personally, how people are critiquing it. I think one criticism is, other players should have a banner. You know, and I saw something like, says it took Eden Hazard 7 years. True, and Hazard's an amazing player, and he absolutely deserves a banner. Mason Mount's been at Chelsea for like his whole life. Do you know what I mean? And it's like a good connected story. Hazard is my favourite Chelsea player since Lampard. I absolutely adore him. And he was great for Chelsea. But, you know, he dreamed of playing for Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? And, like, it's just fair enough. He's not from Cobham. He's not from England. He came to Chelsea as an opportunity. Mason Mount dreams of playing for Chelsea. He's got that connectivity. Do you know what I mean? I'd love N'Golo Kante to get a banner. He's our most naturally gifted player, probably. Do you know what I mean? I'd have absolutely no problem with that. And this is the issue as well. This Mason Mount banner was put together by fans who love the player. They love the player, and they paid for a banner at Stamford Bridge. If a bunch of fans want to make a Kai Havertz banner, you know, with like maybe the chant on Best on Earth, him scoring the Champions League winner, then they can do that, and no one's going to be upset to see a Chelsea player getting, do you know what I mean? Like, but oddly, some people are upset to see Mason Mount's banner, which blows my mind. Of course, there's criticisms about goals and assists, and he'll probably be the first to tell you. I mean, he said it before in interviews, he wants to get a few more goals and assists, but that doesn't bother managers, and they still wax lyrical about him, like we heard Thomas Tuchel's quotes there, because of what he offers the team. And this is what he offers the team. So, midfielder, This is a scouting report on FB Ref for the last 100 days. His standard stats for goals and assists are low for a midfielder. He's in the 36th percentile for goals and 52 for assists, which is not great, of course. But he's very much a sort of execution, tactical, more creative. He's into pressures and creative passing, and this pretty much dictates that. If you look at his passing, he's in really high. He's the 95th percentile for passes completed. So he's, in a Chelsea team, they do a lot of passing. That's sort of fine, and he executes that well and does it well. He's in the 93rd free percentile for key passes, 96 for passes into the final third. Then you've got the pass types here, which just shows you like that. But if you look at goal shot and creation, remember, this is a sort of functioning, pressing, midfielder that sort of executes tactical instruction well. That's why managers love him. But in still, shot creating actions, he's still in the 92nd percentile. 4.63 per 90. That's ridiculously high. Completed dead ball passes that lead to a shot attempt, which is obviously like free kicks and corners, 96th percentile, which is different, of course, to shot creating action. And there you go, 94th percentile for tackling. Do you know what I mean? As a number 10, he turns over possession really, really, really quickly. This is the stuff Mason Mount does, and this is why managers absolutely adore him. Do you know what I mean? But despite all that, Mount will be the first to tell you, yeah, I want to get more goals. Yeah, I want to get more assists. And he's like 22 years old. I wanted to make this video because, I love him. I've got such an affinity with him. Someone has asked me today, who are your favourite players in the squad? And I said, well, Kante's the most world class, and Jorginho is the most specialist and interesting in what he does, and so unique, and it's good to have him. But in terms of two players that I really am excited about moving forwards, and for completely different reasons, it's Kai Havertz and Mason Mount. Neither of them have set the world on with goals and assists, but they're both really, I think Kai Havertz is really silky, to say silky, to get the song words in, but he's really naturally gifted for flair, progression and move, and he can win headers because he's quite tall, and he's got two really good feet. Mason Mount, obviously the affinity to the connection of Chelsea, but he's a really, really high-octane Mason Mount, physical, he'll turn the ball over, he'll press, he'll, do creative passes. We just saw those insane creative metrics, do you know what I mean? And they're both about 22, and they've got, different things about him. One's quite tall, and, he doesn't have this emotional connection to Chelsea because he hasn't grown up here, but he came to Chelsea as an opportunity. Bit like Eden Hazard, Kai Havertz, do you know what I mean? Bit like that. And then Mason Mount, bred from the academy, Cobham, the amazing football academy that we should be so proud of, yet he's this manager's dream, and starts every game regardless for club and country. Look, man, I think now Mason Mount will probably be earning about the same as Kai Havertz is. Do you know what I mean? That's what his contract and his new deal will do, would bring him up to that level, and he absolutely deserves that for the work he puts in. I think well-earned contract. I'm absolutely delighted he's got a banner. I'm not it's not any form of bias that he's English. I'm half French as well. I'm not some, do you know what I mean, Brexit FC Chelsea fan. I just love that connectivity with him. And I love the fact how Chelsea is a multinational team. Do you know what I mean? But yes, of course, I'm going to have a sort of more emotional connection to Chelsea-bred players because it's my club. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea is my club. Cobham is my club's academy, and they breed players. There is something to be said by these youngsters watching Chelsea players when they're younger, Chelsea greats having their connection. Mason Mount to Frank Lampard, Billy Gilmore talking about Cesc Fabregas, do you know what I mean, in the academy and stuff like that. Lovely. Love it. Absolutely love it, all that. And there is something to be said for that. Anyway, I wanted to talk about that. It's hopefully the last time I talk about it, because Mount's just getting better and better, and slowly but surely, if assisting the Champions League winning goal and winning Player of the Year isn't enough for you, then hopefully soon it will be enough for you with his progression. Guys, thank you very much for watching the content. I really appreciate it. Consider dropping a like on your way out if you want to show some support. That would mean a lot. Subscribe and all that gear as well. So enjoy the football, and I'll see you soon. Peace.